Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Tim Guhl from Singtel. We're looking forward to talking with you today. In order to kick off the presentation and to show a little bit about what Singtel does in the esports arena, I'd like to start with a video that our company put together in order to show what we've done.
Here we go. Down to about half HP backline here. Admo Bulldog getting focused. P170. First blood. Dominating. Oh, what a crit! For the throne. There's no glyph. They know. F4 is going to try to jump to the right side. He won't make it there, but yeah. Ultra. They can do it. They can do it. The Dark Lion wins.
Perfect. So just wanted to kick off with that. That video was a promotional video from our 2018 PvP Esports Championship that we held. With that, what we had was PvP Esports Championship that took place in Singapore in October of 2018. The event comprised gamers from Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia, Australia, and India to compete on both mobile and PC with titles such as Arena of Valor, Hearthstone, and Dota 2. Competitors from America, Europe, and China were also invited to participate as well. Really, the reason why this is so important to understand is that Singtel really does see a tremendous value in the esports arena and what's happening there. These are a couple of shots from that event and from the Comic-Con event as well, where the participants were able to see and enjoy the opportunity to interact with some of the Comic-Con participants as well. So really what Singtel wants to talk about today as far as with our opportunity is to discuss what this looks like and what gaming looks like in Asia and how Singtel helps that and enables that in order to take place. Many times when we take a look at esports, it's easy to take a look at it from both a European and an American perspective. For instance, in America, it makes up about 12% of the global audience. But when you actually take a look at the Asia Pacific region, they make over 50% of the audience that watches the esport arena, with China leading this in regards to the audience with over 163, close to 163 million audience members projected by this year, especially with the pandemic and everything that's going on. In addition to this, the Asia Pacific region is expected to be worth more than $78 billion by the end of this year, with China expecting to contribute about $41 billion of that revenue stream. Southeast Asia, which of course includes Singapore, is one of the fastest growing game markets in the world, with over 400 million PCs and mobile gamers in the region by 2021, with Southeast Asia generated game revenue of about $4.4 billion. So overall, 140 million esports players and fans across China and the Asia Pacific region, with global esports revenue surpassing $1 billion by 2020. So how does telecom companies play into this, and what do we do in order to make sure that we enable this and help it to continue? The biggest part is the gaming transition as a service and a business model and in-app purchase, transforming economy and gaming. The e-gaming is becoming an increasingly mobile and driven part of the business, especially with the advance and deployment of the 5G services, which Singtel is actually taking a part and a lead in as we push the 5G network out over throughout Southeast Asia, specifically in Singapore, India, and other places as well, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. What this does is that it allows players across the e-gaming ecosystem to play esports and to seize new esports companies to receive new revenue streams. So let's talk about what that means. Singapore and Singtel specifically really do become the APAC connectivity gatekeepers. And how do we do that? I think the most important thing to know is that Singapore Telecom, or Singtel, is more than just Singapore. For instance, we've been around for 140 years. When you actually take a look at what that looks like, 140 years is just a couple of years after the Bell Company started in America, providing telephone service. We also have close to 690 million mobile subscribers throughout the Asia-Pacific global community, and also in Africa as well. This allows us the opportunity to be the largest global web provider. Sorry, hold on one second. My slides keep freaking out on me. The largest global wireless provider in the Asia-Pacific region. So what that does is that it allows us the opportunity to provide and connect esporting to more than close to twice to the population of the U.S. as a whole. And really, to put this in perspective, with 690 million mobile subscribers, take that into what we look at in the United States, for instance. And what it does is that it gives us the opportunity to connect with multiple people. So just for the next slide, which is apparently the presentation is really eager for me to get to. What we're looking at here is that how do we do that? Singtel has invested into multiple companies. Like, for instance, in Australia, there's two major ICT providers, telecom providers. There's Telstra and Optus. Optus is wholly owned by Singtel and allows us the opportunity to be a part of and get essentially to everywhere in the Australian market, into the most populated areas of Australia. Also, when you take a look at Airtel Bharti, Singtel owns a portion of that company as well. And also, of course, throughout the micronations of Southeast Asia, we have some ownership in Globe, Telkomsel, and others as well. Sorry about that. My slides are kind of messing me up on my flow here. Which means that Singtel is the #1 ICT provider in Singapore, providing market leadership in the APAC enterprise data, international IPVPN, EVPN, and E-line, and IPLC in Singapore as well. So the most important thing to keep in mind is that when you take a look at the Asia-Pacific region, customers vote with their dollars. And when you take a look at this slide, what you see is that Singtel is the most preferred service provider in the Asia-Pacific for enterprise data services. When you take a look at this throughout all of it, IPVPN, international lease circuits, EVPN, and E-line, we own the market share, or the largest piece of the pie, that allows us the opportunity to connect customers to their end users. So this shows that Singtel has the opportunity, has the ability, and has the infrastructure in order to connect you to everywhere in the Asia-Pacific community, in order to connect you to the client base and expand the user base. In addition to this, the most important thing to keep in mind is that Singapore Telecom, Singtel, also has 12 Asia-Pacific data centers in Singapore, and in Australia and also in Hong Kong as well. Singapore is so important to the gaming community in the Asia Pacific region, specifically because what it does is that if you take in consideration the geographic center of the Asia Pacific community is Singapore. And so what that looks like is that essentially 50% of the world's population is within roughly 5 to 6 hour flight from Singapore. So that gives us the opportunity to be centrally located from a geographic perspective. And then also when you take a look at it, that means data center services and live stream services are perfect to set up in Singapore in order to limit latency, packet loss, and jitter, which has a tremendous impact on the gaming community and the end user to make sure that they have a good experience on whatever game that they're playing, especially PvP and live action shooter games. When you take a look at Singtel's network and resilience, what you're taking a look at, what this slide shows is our ability to connect you to anywhere. Essentially, there are 44 international undersea cable systems which connect Asia to Europe, and also Asia to the North American continent as well. Singtel is a consortium owner on 31 of those 44 undersea cable systems, with being the master consortium owner on 17 of those cable systems. And also, in addition to that, just to show what we do as far as with the opportunity and ability to maintain, we actually own the fleet of ships that maintain these undersea cable systems as well, giving us essentially first access when there's a problem to correct that and fix it as well. So that's all fantastic. Also, with these 31 cable systems that we have, essentially what that allows us to do is work with our end customers to understand what are their priorities. For instance, if they're trying to support a live action shooter or a PvP game system, trying to bring customers in the Asia Pacific region to connect them with North America or Europe, it gives us the opportunity to help them decide which one's better, what's most important to them. Is it latency? Is it reliability? Is it redundancy? And we can choose the cable systems and the way to connect in order to achieve our end customer goals, in order to make them successful and make their end customers most happy. This is also just as far as with our stick global coverage as well, with 15 sticks pops located throughout the country. In addition to that, we serve more than 3 million businesses throughout the 96 countries with from a cybersecurity platform with 12 data centers, with 9 global advanced security opportunity ops centers, which is ASOCs, 52 in 18 countries, and over 3,000 industries and 2,000 cybersecurity experts that we employ. It allows us the opportunity to kind of give an entire and full solution when it comes to cybersecurity platforms, especially when you take a look at our wholly owned subsidiary, which is TrustWave, which gives us the ability to have global visibility and scale with local presence and capabilities throughout the world. So not only can we provide the backbone network that you need, the end technology that you need, but we can also provide the cybersecurity solutions in order to keep your end customer safe, and also your very important data as well. So that's something to say about our TrustWave. It's important to understand what this means to the overall platform that Singtel can offer. The most important thing to understand is that this is talking about the Gartner survey on who are the biggest players in the cybersecurity and ICT space, and our progression in the Magic Quadrant over time. In 2015, we started in the niche player, and then as Singtel acquired TrustWave, we combined our resources. That's TrustWave's 9 global SOCs, thousands of employees, and our ability to protect customers end to end around the world with Singtel's global infrastructure capabilities. This all means 140 years in business, over close to 30,000 employees worldwide, speaking 2,000 different languages and dialects, and our ability and our experience in the global community has brought us over the years in order to become one of the few leaders in the Magic Quadrant for the cybersecurity space, and also for the ICT space in general. So building our ICT solutions with security first, taking a look at connectivity, ICT, cloud, and data centers, we're able to provide network defense with global products, mobile security for enterprise level networks, security in the cloud for cloud solutions, and data centers with security solutions as well. Now, I would also, so we've talked about the backbone that Singtel has. We've talked about the security solutions that Singtel has. But one of the most important things to the gaming community as we roll out and consider other platforms, including emphasizing on PvP games, live action play, and then, of course, as we start to consider cloud gaming more and more, how does Singtel provide that piece of the puzzle? And as a result, let's talk about Singtel's cloud offerings. End-to-end cloud offerings, including cloud operating for mobile, managed cloud connectivity, cloud lifecycle services, Singtel's cloud, and other opportunities as well, including winning the Frost & Sullivan for APAC managed cloud services in a competitive strategy. It allows us the opportunity to provide different services that allow us to collaborate with best-of-breed technologies and partners to deliver the best services and suite of cloud solutions, including connecting to AWS, VMware, Azure, Google, and others as well. In order to help understand what this means more, I believe this one probably will do the job. What we have the ability to do through Connect Plus in the CAG value proposition allows us the opportunity to connect to multiple providers throughout the globe, including the major players, and essentially allows us to work with whoever you're working with on your cloud solutions in order to support them and get you gateway access into those via the IPVPN extensions in the public clouds. All of this is done through the Internet of Things, right? And so what that is that combining the connectivity with the intelligence that is needed in order to provide a better class of service to our end customers and in the gaming community, and then also providing the best class of service for you as you develop new opportunities and new games and new ways to connect your customers to your platforms and increase their love of the end game in order to do that. So what that means is that it allows us the opportunity to unplug and play for different opportunities. What this means is that, especially with Singtel, with our 690 million wireless customers throughout the Asia Pacific region, it allows us the chance to connect with them and provide frictionless installation, network, and provisioning. So in a nutshell, Singtel is able to provide all of the different components that are needed in order to do the best possible way of connecting your customers to the end users. Singtel, of course, sees the tremendous opportunity in the gaming community, which is why we continue to invest in the e-gaming platform, including being able to participate in and sponsor multiple gaming platforms, and also participate in them as well. As a gamer myself, this is very interesting, as Singtel definitely sees the value in this, and we are putting our resources and time into making sure that this is the best possible solution for end customers. And that is it as far as for my slides. I greatly appreciate the time today, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.